People who really thought about ending it all. What made you change your mind? Not succeeding. I always said I'd try anything once. Honestly though, I'm just lucky to come out on this side without lifelong repercussions. But the thought of having to live with permanent disability from a failed attempt scares me too much. I'm glad you didn't succeed. Keep it up, and don't let yourself get down G. You got this. My dog came in and started cuddling me. It meant a lot at the time, since I felt so isolated and was too afraid to speak at what I was experiencing. My cat at the time was a real spitball. Fiery FR. At that point in my life, he'd been the only living being that had ever come between me and physical violence. And hell, I'd experienced so much violence I was shocked still to see someone actually give a F when I got hurt. Even if he was a 10-pound pussy, ancient tabby with the personality of a bitrate Game of Thrones villain. So, needless to say, he was ancient, required 5 pills a day, and had at least one pet a visit every month. And if I died, who the hell was going to take him? No one. No one was going to want this wretched death. And he was the only thing who had ever saw me get fed up and go, you know what? No, not today, and then proceed to do damage the likes of which I could only really appreciate post facto. Every time I wanted to die because I was too tired of being in danger, because I was too tired of being alone, because everything was too much, well, that didn't matter because he'd come in, sit on whatever it was I needed to get done, and I'd look at his crusty eyes and his nasty teeth 3 different animal dentists wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole, nasty heart murmur issues, and go, fuck, man, I'm doing this for you. And the best part? He knew it. The vet gave him 6 months to live eventually. He dragged it out for another 1.5 years before I put him down with all the love and pity in my heart. But that fed up little man, older than sin, saved my life. And we had each other's backs. My little sister, when she saw me sitting on my roof, she cried and hugged me. Seeing her like that really changed something in me. Or what? I hope you're doing better. For her and for you 3, wish you the best. My son. He was 6 at the time. He came in and asked for a snack. The thought of him never getting to ask for fruit snacks from me again, and me not being able to see him grow up, snapped that thought out of my head real fast. Yes, you gotta see him grow up. Keep it up, free lil man, without you won't be as happy. There are PPL that care a lot for you for sure. Oh definitely. He's 9 now and doing well. Seeing my mom cry when she found out I was going to try and overdose. She helped me get into a mental hospital, where I got a lot better. That one made me cry. Glad you found help and relief. I had a childhood buddy from age 4 to 14. He committed suicide as a teenager and no one involved has stopped hurting from it up to this point. Almost a decade later. And we'll probably all hurt about it forever. Plus, I always keep in mind that no matter how bad I feel, or how bad I want to end it all, it doesn't have to be today. I tell myself that as many days as I need to, which sometimes is every day. It doesn't have to be today. This, and just knowing that it's me who has the ultimate power to decide, that makes it a bit easier to, I feel like. Procrastination played a part in getting me into this mess. So damn right it'll play a part in getting me out. I'll kill myself later, 60 years from now, of natural causes. Hell yeah. I was so depressed that I couldn't get my ass together enough to actually make and follow through on a plan. I only wanted 2 specific things from my plan: make it look like it wasn't suicide, so my kids wouldn't be traumatized by that, and make it a sure thing that I died and wasn't just horribly injured and worse off than before the act. But when you're that depressed, it's really hard to make and execute plans. So I didn't actually make it happen. I'm in a much better place now, so I don't have the same kind of suicidal ideation and intrusive thoughts and strong desire to stop living. I'm glad I couldn't get my ass together back then. Same here. I never had a I want to live kind of moment. It's more like I just never got around to killing myself, and somewhere along the way life started getting better / things started looking less hopeless and the constant ideation just sort of faded away. I feel like these sort of questions always hinge on the fundamental assumption that depression and suicidal ideation are rational thought processes rather than emotionally driven impulses. I'd wager that in the majority of cases, and at the very least in my own experience, that's not the case. With the benefit of hindsight, at least, the hopelessness feels very rational at the time. Spite. Pure spite. I was moments before taking the leap, and all the memories of people who have wronged me, or people who told me I should kill myself, crossed my mind, and from that moment on I dedicated my life to living purely out of spite, so they don't get the satisfaction of me being gone. This right here, my sister and ex-husband, both who are awful people, would revel in it. I'd rather show them how happy I've become, even if it's very difficult sometimes. Don't kill them with kindness. Torture them with your success. My dog, and all the food I would miss out on those answers, are not related to each other. So many potatoes in this world are out there, waiting for me to eat them. Is that you, Sasha? It's not worth it. Plus, I've been fighting for so long. I wanna see how this would turn out for me. I wanna see me win against what I'm going through. Yes. Keep fighting, and even if you're knocked down, make sure to get back up. Exactly. It's not easy at all, but I'm sure that it's worth the try. It for sure is free. If you're going through something, you got this. And if you need a stranger to vent to, you can vent on me. I'll listen. The thought of the poor bastard who has to clean up. That's my wife's job actually. She cleans up after suicides, murders, natural deaths, crime scenes, etc. Her technical title is Biohazard Remediation Supervisor. Sounds like decent money because of the absolute S she must go through. I would consider a job like that if I had a stomach for it, or if I could turn off my emotions long enough to do so. Therapy probably costs an arm and a leg too, lol. Oh yeah. The only reason she's good at her job is because she had similar training in the army. According to her, as long as it's not her friends, she's good. Sooner or later everything will end. Might as well make the most out of it while we're here. Yes is an opportunity that must be seized, since one never knows when one is going to die. Yes. Keep it up 3. A stranger from Reddit saved me with a bit of financial assistance and kind words. He's currently helping me find a new job. That's amazing. I just couldn't accept that my life meant nothing. So I'm still here trying to find its purpose. Life has no intrinsic meaning. So what's the point of living? Life has no intrinsic meaning. So the point is just living. It might be kind of morbid, but this speculative paper about life being a natural function of entropy was actually really comforting to me. https://www.quantumagazine.org/a new thermodynamics theory of the origin of life - 2014-01-22. This is an article about the paper. The idea that it's my job to facilitate the heat death of the universe through any and all of my activities is freeing. Draw a picture? Helping out. Drink a beer? Helping out. Sit on the couch on my phone? Well, I'm the reason we as a species needed to build and ship one more couch and one more phone, so that's helping out too. I wrote letters for people I loved. Told myself I wouldn't end it without finishing those letters. The only one I hadn't written yet was for my mom. Couldn't bring myself to write it, and it kept going until I found the strength, somehow, to fight it and get better. Having supportive friends helped a lot too. I'm glad that it's worked out. One of the things that stopped me was people not understanding why, and that I hadn't written enough. It's an interesting reason, and interesting to know that it's shared. But I guess that's true more next to all human experiences. Nobody wins if I kill myself. My family will suffer, and I'll be dead. Same here. So I just learn to suffer quietly now, while trying to learn to suffer less every day. https://youtube.b/8pb69errol98. The song is Suffer Well by Depeche Mode. It speaks to me. Who thank you. I do enjoy music recommendations very much. When my oldest daughter died from trisomy 18, I didn't want to live. I felt so much guilt. I felt guilt for not knowing my first doctor lied. I felt guilt for not being able to keep her inside longer. I felt guilt I couldn't save her, and I felt guilt that it was likely my damaged egg that caused it. I survived the C-section. I had physical scars and breasts full of milk waiting to care for a baby that would never come home. I hated myself. My husband never once blamed me. He was struggling too. He was devastated. I couldn't do that to him. I couldn't leave him with all that grief. I kept trying to go on for him. And our cats. They were kittens. Just babies. And I was still their mama. They still needed me. I got into therapy. It helped. That was 10 years ago. I have 2 daughters who are happy and healthy. My husband and I have been through so much. I love him and our kids and cats so much. Life isn't always easy, but they are worth fighting for. I'm so glad you are here to share your story. Thank you. I'm very lucky to have an amazing husband and the best kids and cats a person could ask for. She helped me grow in so many ways. Sometimes the miracle you want isn't the one you get, but it is still a miracle. My mother has already lost her brother to it, and she just lost her dad. I can't add to that pain. Yes, please don't. You got this. Best friend talked me down and made me promise not to. I never break a promise to her, so I'm sticking around. You are lucky to have such a friend. I'm glad you changed your mind. Life is full of pain, but one can learn not to suffer from it. Was really suicidal all high school BC of the abuse I did encounter at home. I'm the oldest, so I had the pressure to protect my siblings at all cost, and would not tell anyone about the abuse BC. I was scared it would separate me from my 2 siblings. I also thought I was the reason why the family was dysfunctional, as I was the scapegoat and black sheep of the family. BC I was openly gay when my mental illnesses could not be hidden, as I had pretty severe OCD at the time. However, this pressure to protect my siblings is also what saved my life multiple times, as I didn't want to hurt them by committing suicide. However, there was one time where I almost managed to succeed. Actually, if a teacher didn't see me, and if one of my best friends at the time didn't realize what was happening, I would be dead by now. Edwy, yes please. Keep it up. I'm so glad your brothers exist, and your teacher stopped you. Good luck, and I hope you find whatever it is that might help you live through it all. I had music playing, and a song came on that made me think of the Northern Lights, and how I'd never gotten to see them. That led to thinking of all the different things I had always wanted to see and do, and I came to the conclusion that what I wanted wasn't to die, it was to not live the life I was living. So I decided to get as far away from my life as possible, about 4,000 miles, across an ocean. I walked the streets of London, saw a glacier in Norway, stood in front of the pyramids in Egypt, danced under the cherry blossoms in Tokyo. I could go on, but I think you understand. Those experiences gave me something real, something to hold on to. I haven't seen the Northern Lights yet, so I think I'll just have to stick around for a while. Edit. For those asking, it was under the Milky Way by the church. Oh damn. I'm so glad you got to experience all that and didn't end it all prematurely. Next up, you got to see the Northern Lights XD. Just don't feel like you have nothing else to see after that, cause you do. Hearing my heart when it said it's worth it to give it second chance. I'm glad you did. Hope it works out. Yes, always remember your life is very precious. Your parents love you by all their heart. Give things chance which you think you would regret later. Your self-respect, your self-love is very important. Exactly. If you can't love yourself, it's hard for others to do too. / / carrot. I don't do pain dog. And most ways to cash out look like they fucking hurt. Plus, this world is too interesting to just up and leave. I wanna see how this all pans out. That's what did it for me. I was too interested in what was going to happen to me and to the world. I'm happy I got through it, because looking back now it's gotten so much better. Fear. I trembled so much that the knife just fell off my hands. Luckily that was a long time ago. I'm glad you didn't follow through with it. Glad you made it out. 3. You got this. Op, you're a great person with all the replies back to people. Hope you're in a good state yourself. Much love. Oh, that's so sweet. Top tier procrastinator. Rie Lestonsa here. Counseling and getting diagnosed as bipolar, which led to getting the proper medication for it, which has drastically changed my life for the better. I'm so glad you got diagnosed before you managed to harm yourself. And I'm glad you're doing better. I attempted 8 times and failed. Then my twin brother died. Heart attack at 29. That changes you. I still get the thoughts, but I'm in a better place mentally, so I have the tools now to steer my brain in a better direction. Oh damn. So sorry for your loss. I'm glad you're in a better though. Wish you the best 3. When I was in late middle school and early high school, I had those thoughts. I would tell myself that if I could make a pros and cons list that really made suicide seem like the preferable choice, I'd do it. Every time I made the list, I'd remember all the stuff that I like. I never could justify ending it. And after about 3 lists, I determined that I like living. Haven't needed to make a list in over a decade.